Just take one hit. Don't you want to be cool?
Gather round everyone. The show's about to begin.
Turn on, tune in, drop out, this show's amazing. It's Super Lemon Haze, you know them boys always blazing. Put one in the air, fill your glass and get to raising. Kirkman praising, school flag waving. Chopping up the topics as they're choking on some chronic. Scott and Eric breaking it down like 21st century prophets. Eyes glazed and minds dazed, it's knowledge they convey. Roll up and consume the Super Lemon Haze.
Super Lemon Haze.
Going to ask you several questions.
Super Lemon Haze.
How do you feel?
I feel like a slice of butter melting on top of a big old pile of flapjacks. Yeah.
Did you hit the button?
Buttons pushed.
Super Lemon Haze.
Super Lemon Haze, motherfuckers. Vacation week. Just feel like a different person, you know?
Because you're done.
For 10 days.
That's awesome.
That's my first fucking...
This was a good time to catch you for this podcast.
I know. It's like fucking 2.5 years since we've had like...
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, we do the...
Some weekends.
Yeah.
Long weekends.
Exactly. Or we do like family trips.
And that long weekend we did in February seems like the end of February, the very beginning of March, actually, seems like a million years ago anyway.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in 2 years that you've done like a legit, like shut it down for a bit.
Feels that way. I think so. I mean, I'm thinking, 2.5 years since we shut it down, or at least we've been able to shut it down. So we got some support. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
My mom's coming to visit. Got some bedroom cannabis. You saw that?
Your
you
tweet.
saw that I got that?
Yeah. I saw everything.
I was told though that our sex life is off limits, so I'm not allowed to do a review on the product.
So this will be the end of that then, basically.
Maybe I'll just do like an anonymous review to them, giving them some feedback. But I'm excited to try it.
I got plenty more high five gifts ready to go.
I also tried out the smoothie, the smoozy.
Yeah, I
smoozy.
saw your little video there.
Did that work? I was trying to see if that would did it work cutting that whole thing up?
It worked. I mean, yeah, I could hear it. Yeah, I didn't listen. I didn't hear the audio the first time I saw it, but I think the second time I picked up the audio.
Yeah, I was wondering if we did that whenever, just a couple.
I'm a little concerned about your rating. So
the B minus. I actually, to be honest, I think that was kind of generous.
You think that was generous?
Yeah.
For a piece of equipment, a dugout that you dug a cigarette in, the dugout, the fake cigarette into.
The one hitter.
The one hitter.
Yeah.
You dug it in, got weed out of it.
Yeah.
Lit that weed.
Yeah.
Took a great hit.
Yeah.
Blew it out for the camera. Nice work.
Nice little effect.
And then you give these poor bastards a B minus.
What am I supposed to
because the labeling sucked.
No, and I guess this is part of the appeal. Is that your house alarm?
I don't have a house alarm.
Okay,
that might not be a good thing to admit on this.
No. Oh yeah.
There's something beeping out there though.
I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna go out there. I don't see any fire trucks.
It's fine.
I'm
not stoned. You're stoned.
I am. I'm a sucker for the shine. I'm a sucker for the maybe it's like the technology. So like, when I held like the C-Cell Palm, like this is fucking sharp, man. It's got like that nice metallic matted black look. It's, very cool.
It was plastic.
Well, I'm just telling you what it feels like.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
And then this one, obviously,
no, I'm just saying that thing was like a dull. It was like a plastic.
Oh, the
like
one that I'm
the
most. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get at. Is that like, I guess that's just me because maybe I'm just I don't know what you call it. I mean, I'm a higher end buyer. I'm just like sold on that kind of like customer service, or I'm sold on like the look and the feel. I don't know. Maybe it just matters to me. I don't know if that makes sense.
The functionality was there though.
The functionality was there. I mean, like the weed went in fine. I think that little that compartment that you can set it up in, the funnel that allows you to get the weed in there, that was nice. A nice little setup. I think the lid felt a little flimsy to me. I feel like if I was opening and closing
to
that,
last.
yeah, if I open and close, I mean, but it was always like $10, you know, so it's like you're getting what you pay for. So that was like the reason why it brought me down. I mean, like the function of it was great. It worked extremely well. It kept everything nice and neatly together. It's compact, like I was saying. Those are all the great things about it. But I think it just felt cheap. It just felt like just
we got to
cheap.
get to the old school wooden.
Yeah,
One.
so
My
that
tweet about the way it was well received out there. We got some good response.
Oh yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
for that dugout.
Some people had.
So did you
some
did you
people
order
took
that?
a little walk down memory lane. I didn't order that one.
Oh,
I,
you just
I
found
have
it.
one.
Oh.
I have one
Yeah,
somewhere.
you
It's
mentioned that
actually
last week.
it's actually missing in action right now. I was looking for it today. I can't find it, but
Check your
we'll
kids.
find
Check
it.
your kids' dresser, man.
Yeah, it might be in one of my guys' dressers or something. It's punks.
It's fucking
but-
definitely the boy.
But yeah, the old school wooden one. I mean, there's no fit and finish to it, but it's functional. It's simple. It's wooden carved. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like you're like using like an antique like relic or
Yeah.
something.
So I almost think I'm gonna start looking online for something like that. Maybe just like a fancier.
You can
I'll
get
go on
that one
eBay.
that I tweeted out. That is available.
But was that
I
was
believe it
a new
on
one?
Amazon. I believe it was on Amazon.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at something like manufactured in like, I don't know, faraway land. Like I kind of am looking for something like an old classic. So like probably the one that you found in like your parents' house that was filled with weed.
yeah. I mean, hey, that's the one.
That's what I'm gonna look for.
You have to go to like
yeah, but
eBay or something.
that's what I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for some fucking old.
You're gonna get sent a COVID dugout.
That's fine, dude. I'll fucking take it.
Okay.
That's the vaccine
You
right
can
there, right?
sanitize
As
it.
long as we get it, then we're automatically
Should give you the antibodies, but you can sanitize it too. That's fair.
Yeah, no, I'll fucking clean that shit.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was my review. But I'll tell you something else is that, that was my first time using it for the flower. So that was a different experience. So I would say that like my wife thought that I was going crazy on it. I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe two hits was more than I'm used to with that.
Is that what we said was crazy? 2 hits.
Well, no. I guess what I'm trying to
How
say.
many hits did you
Two.
wind up taking?
Two.
Total? That was it.
Yeah, because they were so small.
Yeah,
Like they're
that's fine.
like literally
Yeah, they're
like
just little
it's like,
guys.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a great way to get started smoking flower.
yeah. No, but my wife was like, she thought that I was acting crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, you're fucking stoned, man.
Well,
I'm
you
like,
better keep your shit together.
well, what's gonna happen?
Well, that was what was that? Tangy. So you had a
Tangy.
hybrid sativa. Yeah.
Hybrid sativa. Or
mean,
was
that'll
it?
get
Or was
you-
it? Yeah, hybrid sativa.
Yeah, that'll get you. I mean, that'll get you talking and talkative and social and uplifted for quite a bit. And
Well,
eventually you'll kind of even out on that one a bit. You should have.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You mentioned hybrid though, right? So did I get the right?
Yeah,
flower?
it's on the high end. It's on the
More
I
sativa
mean,
side.
yeah, it's just kind of on the higher end of the hybrid side of it's leaning towards sativa. That's
Yeah.
all. Which are great. That's kind of where I hang out. Like I mean, I don't think we've ever actually talked about this, but I
No.
don't really do indicas very well. They
Yeah.
just don't do much for me.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, I don't really even get like a great high off of them either. Like I don't know. They don't make me feel great, and I don't. I'm not one that needs like to go to sleep. Like when my head hits the pillow at the end of the night, I'm good. I go down, and I'm
Right.
up early, so I'm usually kind of knocked out by 10 o'clock anyway. As you've seen, we tried to do that podcast that one night, and I was like, I set my phone down. And seriously, I mean, that's how fast.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how
Yeah.
fast I go down. Like I've never had.
You were
a problem.
snoozing the minute I text you probably like 5 minutes later.
5
I'm like,
minutes
dude, let's
later,
try it again. And like
Gone.
no response.
I didn't see it till 5 a.m, and I was laughing at myself, laughing at you at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And that's just honestly, that's just the way I've always been. I
Yeah.
just my head hits the pillow and I'm done. I
So
shut
then,
off.
so then, what happens when you use the sativas? What's the difference?
I
You're feeling?
just get just such a better feel, a better buzz, and
Yeah.
I think it's also it like relaxes my brain or something. There's something going on there with I don't know if it's like some kind of ADD thing or something, but for some reason it sort of like paces out the crazy thoughts in my brain, and then also like I like those hybrid sativas because then the hybrid. I'll go down to hybrids too and have a great time with those too. But then, as I've gotten older, obviously, runner's knee or sore knee, tight knee, whatever you want to call it, and lower back issues and just, stretching and stuff like that. It's nice to have like a hybrid that's kind of more of a body buzz or body feeling too.
It's funny you mentioned the stretching and stuff because I don't know if you saw this, but like Mars been like producing some of his own like exercise stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's got some serious martial arts skills, but he does these like 45-minute, 55-minute workouts. So he went live, I think, today, and the dude's like fucking crazy good at, you know, all of these like calisthenic body movements. He's like fucking setting up like ribbons and like kicking like way up in the air.
No shit.
Like fucking
That's awesome.
Yeah, like Van Damme type shit. Like he's serious, like serious athlete.
I mean, that's probably
So-
years of crazy. Not only all that martial arts, but the stretching too.
Yeah.
Like, just to be able to get to that point.
Yeah, I don't fucking have that flexibility for shit. Like I can touch my toes, but like if I fucking try to like go wide, like fucking
Well, I'll
shit
give
would snap.
the one thing I'm envious right now is we were just in our backyard before, and you squatted down and had both feet underneath you, like
Oh.
full knees, full range of motion.
Yeah.
And I do not have that in my
No?
right knee right now at all.
So
Just
what?
Don't have it.
So if you were to squat down, just
I
fucking
mean, I
painful,
can
or
get,
just-
yeah. I mean, I just don't have that last like 15 degrees, and
Right.
it's just shooting pain, and,
Oh,
it's,
shit.
and it's definitely like the patella, you know, the front, like the patella. It's just tight.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, like
for some
quads?
reason.
the quads are tight.
I think it's more. Yeah, it's probably into the. It's like
Yeah.
the lower. It's like leading into it.
Yeah.
You know? But I think it's the kind of where that exchanges into
Yeah.
the patella, and then on the lower side too.
Yeah.
On the back, and
Yeah.
stretch. I mean, I'm sure hamstrings need to be
You gotta
stretched.
fucking get on that
better.
program, man.
I
Get
mean,
on that
I'm
program.
rolling them, and I'm rolling it and everything. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Is it getting better, or does it feel like it's just you're stuck?
For some reason, it's like it's it's on waves. It's waves. Like
Yeah.
I have good days and bad days. Like some
Yeah.
days I'm like squatting down perfect, getting the full stretch in, like part
Yeah.
of the regular routine, and then some days, like the last 2 weeks, for some reason, it's just been killing me.
Yeah.
I don't know. why.
Were you
Maybe
doing
it,
that?
it may have something to do with frequent drinking as well.
Do you think that causes inflammation?
I mean, it might. It honestly, it
Yeah.
might. If I was probably drinking more water and less beer,
Yeah.
I probably was. It probably would be. And just the last few weeks, for some reason, been vacation and summer and all that.
Yeah.
It's just been, yeah.
So what are you drinking when you go to Maine? Just curious. Same.
There's a couple of awesome. So I gave you the alleged warm beer,
Right.
That may have.
Brawler.
I guess maybe I had it sitting out at some point or something.
Nah,
I
it's
don't
all
know,
right.
but it was okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's again, I was wearing the shirt last week, I believe.
Oh, right,
Footbridge Brewery. So
Yep.
that one, and then the Booth Bay Craft Brewery. So I
Ah.
got two local joints
Nice.
that make awesome.
What about
local craft
the
beer.
Booth Bay Craft Brewery? What are they making over there?
They got everything. They
Yeah.
have like a full line. So actually both do. I mean, Footbridge does too. They got a bunch of different brews and flavors
Mhm.
and stuff. But yeah, Booth Bay's best stuff is they've got a local one called 633, which is the local
Mhm.
exchange
Area
number.
code?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's not the area code.
Oh.
Area code's 207. Don't
Gotcha.
mess that up.
Right.
All Maine's 207, brother. All Maine's 207.
So what's the 6
633. So it's
633.
207. If you live in Booth Bay,
Oh.
207 633, and then whatever your last. Everybody
Oh,
has.
I see what you're saying.
Booth Bay's so small that everybody has 633.
I got
for the
you.
most part.
Right.
Like the old landlines are 633, and a lot
Yeah.
of people still have landlines. Like
It's
no big deal.
nuts. Yeah.
So they have a. It's like a. I don't know. It's not a lager. It's more of an ale, but it's a pale ale. It's a pale ale basically. 633, awesome local beer, and then they got the Thirsty Botanist, which is their awesome IPA. But then yeah,
Nice.
you go to Footbridge and they got all kinds of cool ones. They got a blueberry beer, they got a wheat beer, they got a couple of ridiculous hoppy beers if you're into the hoppy beers.
Yeah.
Super Hoppy Monster. They got another one called FYP. Shout out to Panina.
I
Yeah,
have no idea what you're talking about.
she's
Who's
the-
Panina?
She's co-owner and bartender up
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Yeah, she runs the show up there, man.
Nice.
If you want to hang out and have a good beer, that's the lady to talk to, the boss lady.
Well, again, we probably would have enjoyed our time up there if you didn't fuck us over.
That's
for-
true. I
for our
did screw you
vacation.
right out of that. Yeah,
You
I
did.
didn't want you up there.
No,
That's what it
until you were trying to sell your house, then you're like, "Why don't you guys?"
Now
come
we
up
got to see
there?"
how it happens. Yeah, we'll see how things go.
Right.
But yeah, that was cool. The Kirk show was everybody was the whole Kirk crew
Yeah.
was up there in Saco and hanging in Maine, and
Mhm.
it was good to see Maine getting some shine in
Yeah, you
addition
got
to all
s-
the awesome
yeah.
stuff that was going on with the Kirk crew.
Yeah, I know. I was, disappointed that I couldn't be there, but I love that people were also like streaming some of the show, so
Yeah.
it kind of made you feel. And everyone was obviously. It's funny because everyone was still communicating via Twitter, even though they were all like standing with each other. So,
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, everybody's got to get their Twitter
Yeah.
clout, right?
but it was cool because you almost felt like you were there. So with all like the streaming that was going on and all the videos, I think the show did a great job. I mean, I'm sure the experience in person was extremely, much different than what you're getting online. But I think Steve and Mike and Kirk did an amazing job sort of producing.
So interactive.
Yeah.
So good.
And I guess that's the point of the show today, right? I mean, how special of a weekend, all the Min fans are still sort of like celebrating, meeting each other and things like that. And then we get back and then boom, fucking
total bummer.
But it made me remember, because that was how we got started. If you remember correctly, we were just about to go away on vacation together, and that happened, and that's when we sort of proposed the idea when we were on vacation. I have that video; it's still on my phone. I watch it every once in a while.
That's good.
I'll post it so people can see kind of what we did to give people the idea. But it was all around mental health and cannabis and how the two help one another. I mean, how you could treat mental illness with cannabis and mental health issues.
Yep.
But it really did sort of triggered a memory, and I was like, "Fuck!" I mean, this is how it's like we're like there's kind of a weird pit in your stomach, and I think it's weird because I think you listen to this. I mean, I know that I listen to this guy so much that I really do feel like he's a part of the family, like and as well as with like all the community of the Minifans.
I think a lot of people would say the same or relate. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's so available. He's so open. He just produced like 3 hours, average 2+ hours a day. I mean, it's nuts. So you just learn a lot about someone, listening to someone, because like same thing for me too, is like I'm not in my car anymore. So the past like 4 or 5 months, like he's like in my ears. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just like listening to the car with the windows down and I'm fucking driving, so I'm somewhat distracted.
Pods now. Yeah.
Now I'm fucking like 45 minutes to an hour and a half at a time, because sometimes it takes me, I have to do it in shifts. He's just fucking like in my brain.
Yeah, you're either on a run or mowing the lawn, or it's just on the pods. Always.
Yeah, so it's a real bummer that he's fucking going through those same issues.
It's the same reasons why you're so like why we're so into him. Like he's so intense.
Yeah.
Like so fired up. I guess are obviously some of the same reasons that probably lead to this. Unfortunately, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess it's easy to say that maybe he acts. I don't know. I guess the word's manic. So if what he's going through is some sort of mania where he's highly energetic, maybe he makes some rash decisions. I mean, like, I guess I was thinking back. What was the most surprising thing that he's done in the last like month or so that could have led us to believe things were going in this direction? And I think it was when he basically busted out the code for that sales meeting for the Barstool thing. And that's what got it.
Lash out against Erica. Yeah.
Like that was kind of the first thing that I was like, because I remember feeling that. I was like, what the I was like, dude, that's like
and weird.
That's like really like, I mean, because Kirk is entertaining and obviously he sometimes, I think part of the act is to, as an entertainer, is to do things that drive people wild. But but to risk Lily your security. Like I think they were honestly contemplating letting him go. And I don't think we fully recovered. I don't think the Barstool relationship with the show has really recovered completely after that incident.
Yeah.
And I think you can hear that in also a lot of the stuff that's happened, leading up to the past week, with the Robbie interview, Robbie Fox, when he came on to kind of defend his boys and shit. He brought that up. When he called Erica, that, I don't know what he said. I remember he said like some like fucking stupid bitch or some whatever he said.
Do your fucking podcast.
Yeah, you stupid fucking podcast. So clearly the last like 2 months, I guess if you're paying attention with that kind of filter, you could tell that there's been like an escalation of activity.
I remember texting with you and being like, dude.
Yeah, you did.
What the fuck was that?
Right.
I was like, I was driving up. I was actually like, I got to where I was getting it, listening to it on the way up to Maine, and got to my place and was like, yo,
yeah,
the fuck was that all about?
Yeah.
And then that all got edited out afterwards.
Yeah. Well, the code and everything. But, that was, because for me too, that was also very interesting because that really helped me also see who I'm most loyal to. It's weird, but, like we have talked about before, big Barstool fan. We've been following them forever.
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy is definitely on my top 5 list of people that I have looked up to as a 40-something-year-old person trying to get into business, like what he fucking did from nothing to interviewing the president of the United States. I mean, like, yeah, $100 million, like 100 millionaire, like that's fucking ridiculous. So, I was really upset when that happened, but then I really fell completely in line with the Kirk thing. Like I never teetered between the two sides, and so I think that for me was a moment where I was like, fuck, man, I'm like all in. Like I'm all in with this guy now. I used to be just, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I was also an EI radio talk show guy, sports guy. I fucking can't stand them anymore. And it's mostly because, the product sucks. That's just the way that the channel's gone for the last 2 years, but it's also because I hate them because what they did to Kirk.
Yeah.
So it's like all these layers.
Although the Barstool folks, I think overall, with the exception of the kind of in the moment stuff, it sounds like they've handled the whole Kirk situation pretty well. I was just listening to Erica's podcast from yesterday, and she was at the end of her show, she even said, we wish him the best. He's here, we'll be here when he gets back. Whatever. So but it sounds like they've and he said that he feels good about his relationship overall with them. I don't know if that was kind of after the thought or forced on him or what, but
it's hard to know. We don't really, he does bring up some of the conversations that he has with some of those employees. Like he talks about his conversations with Dave offline and Erica and some of the other employees, like Big Cat,
KFC too.
KFC. And so you get a sense of it, but I guess maybe if he's a person suffering from mental illness, maybe what he's saying isn't exactly what he's hearing.
Yeah, you don't know, right?
That's the weird thing, is that because we're always listening through Kirk's filter, right? So whatever he's telling his audience, whatever he's feeding to us, it's from Kirk. We do occasionally get like Big Cat come on or KFC. They kind of explain some things, but 90% of the time it's
what we're getting straight from Kirk.
Straight from Kirk.
No filter.
Which is probably why we love it. But at the same time, I guess you have to question sometimes what's reality and what's not.
That's what I'm saying, though, that intensity too. It's like he comes out there and you're just like, okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see where this is going to go.
Yeah, but you and I are also talking about what possibly could have triggered it. And I guess the thing is, we'll never know where it starts.
It's just such a bummer after, success, just when you think there was like that doubt about, the show hasn't made this much this money or anything. So all these other shows or pods are doing so much better on the Barstool Network, then it goes out and this is just an awesome success. And then to hear right after, it's just, tough highs and lows, man.
Yeah. And I think that was the biggest surprise of them all. I think not being there, it gave us a little bit of separation, but I can feel in some of the tweets that people were sending in support of Kirk when he first announced it. And the majority of the people that I was watching or listening to were people that were at the live shows.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes I think there was two of them. So some of them went to both. I think they felt the most surprised. Just because they were literally with them, shaking his hand,
so like everything
in
was
person
great,
the whole weekend, right? But again, I think that's the nature of the disease, man. Right? It's like, there's no real way to describe it to, I think, anyone unless you're actually going through the illness itself, right?
Right. No, you don't try to understand it. You just
because people could say, I had a fucking bad day. They could say, I'm fucking stressed out, but to the degree that a person whose emotions are much higher and more experienced than that, someone who's suffering from mental illness, I think that it's just like, it's like the volume is turned up like all the way. It's just fucking cranked. So that's at least the best way that I try to, because I think when you come from that industry, when you come from working in that within that population of people, which I have, I think you have to find some way to relate, but it's hard to, because you can't really understand it's just like you can't understand what a person who's completely different from you going through, like this whole racial thing that's happening right now. It's like I can't put myself in their shoes because I'm not that person. I don't have those experiences. I wasn't raised that way. I think it's the same thing with the mental health, mental illness thing. Having not really experience severe mental illness, it's very difficult, I think, to have some dialogue with someone and to completely understand it. You do have to kind of, you try to put them to put yourself in their shoes, but again, it's one of those things where I think you can't rationalize it. There's no way to sort of spell it out. It's not like physical science or exercise science where like a person has like a fucking ACL injury. You know, you could take an X-ray or MRI. You can clearly see on the scan the tissue is separated from the bone. You know, there's a very clear way to diagnose and to prescribe, to treat, to recover. But the fucking head, the brain, the fucking neurons and all that shit firing.
It's tough.
Like, and everyone's brain is a fucking different petri dish of shit, of stuff, of electricity, you know? So
And no clear-cut fix, as we've said. Yeah. So we're talking, this is the mental health episode. Let's review again. So what do you do for I mean, obviously you don't have the severity that we're first talking about here, but what do you do to keep your brain sane? Let's just review again for your own good mental health.
You know, so since for day one for me, it's always been activity, physical activity. That's how I keep the majority of fucking shit that's flowing around in my brain under control. But I've gotten into the bad habit in the recent history, but in the distant past, where I was not being smart about how I was exercising. So it was over exercising kind of plan that I think put me at risk for getting physically injured. I think that happened mostly in my 20s. I didn't have a specific goal. You know, I just come off of college, you know, where I was rowing competitively, and then I didn't know what to do, so I was just fucking around. And I remember I'd be at the gym like 8 hours a day. I was working in the gym. I would exercise in the morning for 2 hours, and I'd fucking work a full day. Then I'd exercise again for 2 hours. And I knew that wasn't healthy.
That's not good. Yeah,
no.
It's over. That's a little bit overkill.
Yeah. So I found a pretty good balance now with the physical activity. I'm also taking, you know, a low dose of anti-anxiety medication, so that also keeps me somewhat baseline, which has been dramatic from what I was prescribed like 10 years ago. You know, based on my breakup of a relationship, which put a lot of stress and took a toll on me, a lot of trauma, physical trauma, emotional
trauma. So you're saying the amount of medication that you took 10 years ago versus today is much less, dramatically less. And I think that is the majority of that is also due into part that I have a very healthy relationship. You know, I think being in a healthy relationship, also being in control of my exercise plan. You know, the funny thing is that, you know, we were just discussing this because it was just our anniversary, but we both are, my wife and I are both extremely competitive and goal oriented, but like the changes that we've made in the last like two plus years is dramatic. And I feel like all that has to do with all the things just sort of just being in line. Like I would never have been able to progress to the level of career that I'm in right now as fast as I did if it wasn't for this relationship. You know, I wouldn't be the father I am today for my two oldest kids if it wasn't for this healthy relationship. It's just like the relationship piece has helped me more than I think everything else combined. But obviously, clearly, you know, there's the relationship. Obviously, any relationship is difficult and stressful at times. You know, it's hard work. Marriage is hard work. Relationships are hard work. And so I have this good balance now between the medication I'm taking, the exercise piece, the relationship piece, and then the last piece that we've introduced lately.
This has been only 4 or 5 months, but like I feel like you know, if I were to say why this helps me the most, I feel like it's because it gives me something to look forward to. It's a lifestyle that I think that I've prohibited myself from enjoying for all my whole life. Again, I fucking hated this shit.
Yeah, you had a stigma,
man. I lived it up, man. It was something I carried through my childhood. But like, if you fucking smoked weed, you were a dumb fuck. You were an idiot,
lazy,
couldn't fucking concentrate. I mean, because I know a lot of stoners who are like that. So I
Sure.
think it kind of kept reinforcing that stigma. But it wasn't until I started to experiment, I think, in the last 4 or 5 months that, you know, there's a, you know, I've been drinking for fucking 40 years, you know, not 40 years, 30, 25 years, you know what I mean? Since my whatever. And I like the buzz that I feel when I drink, but I hate the feeling when I drink too much. There's in the last 4 or 5 months, on the days where even I went more than I should have, or the more I tried, 5 or 6 hits, just because I was trying to push the boundaries, I never felt different when I woke up the next morning.
And at worst, it'd be a little foggy, maybe.
Maybe it was harder to get up on the days that I fucking maybe ate an edible in the morning, or like later in the afternoon, and then just fucking kept going on a weekend, and the next day I would wake up and it would just be a little bit harder to get up, but nothing really carried over like fucking hangovers. I never feel hungover from this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is where this has helped me is that I've been able to drink less of this, but still get kind of that buzz that I like. You know, if I do 1 beer and a couple rips, like, I'm fucking good.
That's
And the great thing about it too that I'm finding is that it also ends when I sleep. So I'm not carrying it through into the morning, and it's never like, also like when you drink a lot, you get so fucking dehydrated. You know, you're fucking waking up every hour to go pee. You know, it's part of being hungover is that you're just fucking, you know, your whole fucking body is messed up from drinking so much. But I've never felt that in the last 4 or 5 months from this. So I don't know. So the combination of all those things for me has made the biggest difference.
It's great.
What about for yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna try not to mirror you too much, but some similarities for me for sure. So I'm definitely an activity guy. I'm a little bit different on schedule though. We were just talking about this. You work out in the afternoon. You do your thing. What time? You're like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock after work.
I'm definitely an after work guy. So yeah, 4:30 I warm up.
Yeah.
Exercise by 5.
So I'm 12 hours the exact opposite. I'm up at like 4:45, 5. Lately I've been the last few months this summer, it's been more like 6 o'clock. My wife's been going to a class finally that's kind of back open. It's outdoors and socially distanced and all spaced apart, but it's a CrossFit type class where she's getting her sweat on. So and that's a 5:15 or something like that. So I've been doing like a 6, but yeah, I'm usually like a 5 or 6 a.m. guy, and I'm a good couple miles run at least. And then since obviously lockdown and COVID and stuff, and the gym that I went is bankrupt and gone.
Yeah, so I was actually gonna ask you, is it closed? Is that location gone?
BSC is all gone, man.
I had no idea. So they actually shut their doors.
Yeah, I'm
really?
pretty sure.
Fuck.
And that's like tied to everybody. That was like New York sports clubs.
Yeah.
Lucille Roberts. I'm pretty sure they're like bankrupt.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Holy
they have
shit.
a plan. I mean, maybe they're opening up. Maybe, again, I might be wrong, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I was recently starting to like just think about disputing my charges because they're still charging me. And
They are not.
Oh yeah. No, it's been that's on the internet too. You can look that up. They're still charging everybody. Like what the fuck?
The fuck?
Bankrupt and charging everybody because everybody's still in like technically in contracts.
Right.
I'm sure that's going to come back around
on
them.
You think you're gonna get a refund someday or
I
something?
mean,
or?
sure, we'll
Yeah.
get there, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a good run and a good, body impact workout, whatever, burpees, push-ups, sit-ups, that nonsense for sure. But I get all that stuff out of the way early. And then I think for me, also routine is good. So I kind of know when I'm sitting down at my desk and I'm working on work from my real job in real life. I know when I'm stopping and taking a break and getting some lunch and taking the dog to the park and doing a little hike there to kind of stretch out from the workout from before. I know when I'm going to like do my side stuff, whether it be something like this or, cottage rentals in Maine or something like that. And I think, what you said about kind of mixing taking a couple rips and then only having a beer or two, I think that resonates with me a lot too. I'm not a guy that's having 12 beers a night or 12 beers even on a weekend to go have a good time. I'm having 2 or 3 pints of some stronger beers here and there and taking a few rips as well.
Yeah. What's your I feel like I detail specifically what I'm using weed like and how I'm taking it and how much. What's your regimen?
After my morning workout, I'm taking a couple of rips.
Yeah.
So I'll usually take a couple of like rips of a sativa or a hybrid sativa type.
So you're doing it from a bowl, right? So you
yeah,
pack a bowl.
Yeah, I usually smoke a bowl. I'm a glass bowl guy, and I grind up whatever I'm working with, and yeah, take a couple rips in the morning, just to kind of start my day and start the buzz, and then usually back after work after that, by 5, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that at some point.
I'm just curious, because I've never done it in the morning. And for you, is it because you've been using it for so long that it doesn't give you, because I guess for me, I know how I feel at night, and I don't think I would be able to do my job during the day if that's how I felt throughout the day. So I mean, obviously we have completely different jobs as well, so it might just not be suited for something like that, what I'm doing.
I mean, I've always been in like sales and account management and sort of high paced, fast, like on the phones, busy work and management. For me, it just kind of slows things down. Yeah. It kind of declutters my brain, de-stresses me. But at the same time, sparks, usually if it's the right, if I've got the right stuff and I'm in the right space, it's kind of keeping me creative as well.
What's the right stuff?
So yeah, like
the sativas,
like, fucking super lemon haze, baby.
Yeah, you still smoking that
tangy super lemon haze? Any kind of any kind of higher level sativa, sour diesels, things like that. I mean, those are always going to be kind of my thing where I'm going to hang out, and always have been for me. Yeah.
I am curious though. Like, I know we discussed it last week, but like you said that the effects of the oil, if you took the same strain in the oil, so you did like sour diesel,
those cartridges,
so what's the difference? Why is smoking the oil through a vape pen a different sensation and feeling and high than you get if you're smoking the same strain of a flower, if it's the same thing? Can you explain that? I don't know if you can, but
not really. I don't think I could. I mean, I think that I would point to the obvious. It's different, smoking a flower at a certain, you're putting a lighter with flame, regular real fire, and in a plant inside a glass bowl, and you're heating that up and then smoking that like you'd smoke tobacco or anything else. That is, some sort of pressed concentrated oil out of many of those buds, right? All pressed out in concentrated form, and then heated up with electricity, like on a hot plate at like 200 something degrees or whatever. So I mean, it's just all different, the way it goes into your bloodstream, the way it's
even if it goes through your lungs, because you're saying, because it's like, it's
both going into your lungs, but I mean, you're talking about different temperatures, different concentrations, different kind of smoke, like everything, So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really a comparison. For me, usually those cartridges are a little weaker than the actual real thing. Yeah. At the end of the day, and I'm a flower guy, and that might be total bullshit because everybody will be like, oh well, the concentration is 80%, blah blah blah, and that is right. Like those are all like concentrated, strong stuff. I'm not saying they're weak. It's just for me, for some reason, the flower is the way to go for me.
Yeah, what was the most surprising to me though? I mean, just because I've never purchased those pre-rolls before, I think
those are great, aren't they?
Yeah, they're. I think it's just, again, it's like the production, the presentation. The whole thing works for me.
Yeah.
But I opened it up, and I think each pre-roll is about 1 gram.
Yeah.
Can you smoke that whole thing?
To my dome, no.
So
just if I just lit that up and went for it, I wouldn't. No.
So what are people doing with it then? So they're just taking a couple hits, they're lighting it
for
smoking
a party, a big group or something like that.
Oh,
not
so
anymore.
sharing.
Not in the cut. I mean, I guess it's all different. I feel like I keep referencing fucking Corona, but yeah, I mean, prior to that, I mean, I'd bring that out if I was going to a show with a couple of my buddies, like a concert. I'd just break out a couple of those and we just pass those around.
Right. Great. So no individual can fucking, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of individuals that can go through that, but like recreational people who are just doing like,
plenty of people. I'm sure there are plenty of people that'll smoke one of those right to the face. No problem,
and feel totally like.
I mean, they'll just go about their day and do that,
right,
or pass the fuck out, whatever. But there are plenty of people that'll put one of those, a gram joint, right to their face, no problem.
Yeah, because I'm just taking like 2 hits,
Yeah.
and I'm feeling like high. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
and
mean,
then
I'd
these things are
get-
like just fucking micro doses. I can't even imagine like,
I'd get maybe halfway through that thing, maybe.
yeah. And then what? You would just like fucking
I mean,
throw up.
I mean, yeah, I'd be like dizzy and coughing my ass off. I mean, it just
Right.
wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't be like, you know, at that point you're just like, it's not an enjoyable. Now my, you know, I'm like eyes are all red. I'm all fucked up. Like I can't see straight. Like okay, I guess that's
When
not
was
what
the
I'm
la-
trying to. I'm not trying to like, you know, pass out on the floor. So
when
yeah.
was the last time you did that? You did that far.
I mean,
you went that
you know,
far.
if you take a couple, so the biggest thing is like the easiest way to wind up like wigging out or like, you know, overdosing yourself or whatever, smoking too much, so
Yeah.
to speak, and getting kind of losing it a little bit is like, if you it's how you what you take in, or how you what your form of consumption is.
Mhm.
So for instance, if you smoke a little bowl and it has a carb on it, you're always letting in what you in your brain is
What's
telling
a
you.
carb on it?
Yeah, like a little hole on the side where it lets the air,
Oh, yeah,
lets
yeah,
the
yeah.
air in, and
Oh, I
lets it
see.
fire in. So you're lighting that bowl, you cover up the
Yeah.
air hole on the
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
and then you let go of that, and then the air fires through that thing and
Yeah.
shoots fucking weed smoke into your throat. You know?
Yeah.
So like if you're doing that, your brain, you're telling yourself you're controlling that.
Yeah.
If somebody then loads you up a fat ass tube of weed in a bong and then is just like, here, clear this tube, suck
Yeah.
it all in, you may wig out
Yeah.
because you're not used to taking in that much that dense amount of smoke that
Right.
fast. Same as if you're always a flower smoker and somebody's like, here, take a dab. Let me fire you up a blowtorch on a dab rig. It's basically like the crack of weed. Here,
Yeah.
smoke this.
Yeah.
That's really fucking concentrated. That's really like thick, like blowtorch fucking lit hot
Yeah.
smoke. Like you might wig out on that.
Yeah. So
You're not used to that.
I'm interested because I started following someone on Instagram. I wish I had her name with me. But she's like famous for her hash.
Oh, okay.
I again, these are all like I know that like there's like wax, right?
Mhm.
What are these? These are all styles of concentrates,
Yeah,
right?
they're
That's
just
what they're.
how the different ways to kind of boil.
Yeah. So is
boil
a
up.
dab? Is a
Yeah,
dab
but
wax?
If you're doing a dab, you're
What's
that's
a dab.
so no. I mean, dab is actually like basically concentrated oil, and you're actually just you're putting that in like a ceramic or a glass bowl, but you're firing you're heating that up to the
Yeah.
point where it's like evaporating
Right.
almost, essentially, like
Right.
to combustion, basically.
Yeah.
Wax is.
So what? So have you done dab? Have you dabbed?
I've done
before?
some dabs.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And so what? And what's the difference in feelings and sensations? Like what's that?
I mean, again, it's just higher concentrate. It's
Right.
like high powered, really intense. It's like
So it's quick, it's fast, and it's longer lasting, or just quick and fast and then it goes away.
I don't know if it's it depends on
Yeah.
how much you smoke, strain, the usual,
Right.
all that. It's just basically it's definitely I would say overall you're probably taking less of that. It's more intense, so
Mhm.
you'd probably smoke. It's less smoke going
Mhm.
into you because it's so intense. You take like 2 of those and you're
Mhm.
gonzo
Mhm.
because it's so strong.
Right. How are you making that? Like I keep watching all of these YouTubes, and that actually gets to the point that I think Chris from Methuen reached out to us. We had a Minifan reach out. Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, well, I mean, Chris from Methuen, been a fan. And he's hit you up, I know too.
Yeah.
And basically, just he's saying, hey, I'd love to talk about either. I guess we'll have to toy with a couple of ideas, but the
Yeah.
long and short is, Chris, we're into it, buddy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But the idea
But
was,
yeah, it was either a segment on growing or how he's producing stuff like that.
yeah, because I guess there's obviously there's a commercial side to it. There's the gray, the illicit, whatever, and the legalized dispensaries. But then there's people who just grow for themselves,
And that's what I
supply
think.
their own.
Yeah, and I'd love to talk to him about that. I'd just like to hear, like, I mean, he's helping me with our little miracle in the
Yeah.
backyard.
Right.
But I think there's plenty of people like us that, like me, that have just have a couple plants going or something like that, and they'd love some
Yeah.
better advice about how to either, top it, as we were
Yeah.
talking about, like the right way, how to cut it, how to trim it, whatever you gotta.
Yeah, like I am so like again, I follow R. Kelly, so he's another Minifan who's been a big supporter of ours for a while. And then what's the other guy's name? I've been following all these growers on Instagram, and Instagram obviously is a much different experience, so with the social networking thing than with Twitter. Twitter's obviously it's language, it's very emotional, where I feel like Instagram is just pictures. It's a little
Looking
bit
at cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and short videos. And so I've been following a couple of these growers, and I'm fucking fascinated.
Yeah.
Like I want to do it. Like I was joking around with you about fucking building like a grow house or a greenhouse in your backyard.
Yeah.
But like I really want to take this on as like a science project. I want to do it. I want to grow one, which is why I'm also so interested and excited about the one in your backyard, which is why I was also asking you a couple weeks ago if you were just going to let it die. Cause I'm like, I'm going to
Yeah,
fucking,
no,
I'm going to take care of this thing.
No, she's doing well. She's hanging in there. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that so we've confirmed it's a female.
Yeah.
And it's growing.
What is the difference between male and female anyway with these plants?
Just the way the buds grow.
Oh.
It's either like given off as Chris was saying, it kind of has like these like harder seeds, like balls that kind of hang off, or it's got these sort of like these beautiful like buds, like open flower buds that start shooting up from the crooks in the corners, basically.
So do people typically grow males or females? Is there
you want females.
Oh, you want a
So get
female.
big fat, big
Oh,
fat
gotcha.
weed buds out of there. Yeah,
right? Because
for
you can't
sure.
smoke the other ones.
Doesn't produce.
Oh,
Doesn't
like
produce the same.
so it's still you could grind it up and smoke it, but you're not going to get anything out of it.
And maybe the leaves you could do with tea or extract from the leaves a little bit, but
Yeah.
that's not what you're looking
Interesting.
for. Yeah, you want the buds.
So you have a miracle.
So not
little
only did I
girl.
get not
Yeah.
only do I have a miracle plant to begin with, that even the fact that it even sprouted as a little like white seed
Mhm.
is ridiculous. Like a little like basically like non-germinated seed, I guess you'd call it, or something. I don't
Yeah.
even know. It's like a lab seed.
Yeah.
And then it's also female. Like what the fuck?
Right.
Awesome. So cool. So yeah, we're gonna keep
Could we
that little
and
bitch
when,
alive.
when they say fucking clone it, can we? Is there any way that we can do it?
We'll take. I'll clone it and give you. You can have one. You can have a big branch off of it.
Fuck. All right.
There you go.
I need to know what I need to buy.
Yeah, we'll need a little help with some.
I
You
need
need the cloning solution.
So Chris, let's do it, man. And if you can help me, just fucking give me that list. Let's make a reality show out of that, man. We'll fucking.
So what I'm trying to figure out. So here's my dilemma now with this thing. So some people have said we need to top it, so to speak, right? So you chop off like the top growth, and then apparently that idea, and it's the same thing with like pepper plants and tomato plants, and it makes like bush out,
Wider.
and really kind of grow out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos that also say that if it's like some kind of a lot of weed plants don't grow straight up, don't keep growing straight up. Only like the sativas grow straight up.
Yeah.
If it could be like it was a hybrid.
Yeah.
Originally it was Uptown Funk.
Yeah.
That was the strain originally.
I remember you saying that.
It could just be a bushy plant to begin with, and it might not get that tall.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks are saying on YouTube, like, don't top it, because you just, if it's not one of those plants that's going to grow that tall anyway, you don't need to top it.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's I don't know how that's.
So have you?
I haven't touched it.
I was gonna say, have you measured to see how tall it is now? You should probably measure it to see how tall it is and to see if
She's
it's
probably
growing.
what, like 2.5 feet.
Yeah, I mean, she's growing like a Christmas tree. Every time I
Yeah.
look out there, I'm like, gee, by December, you could put like fucking lights on that
She's
thing.
got thick, and then there's
Some presents
all little
underneath it.
female buds all on the inside.
Oh, I gotta come over. I was over today. What the fuck was
yeah, I
it?
should have
It
showed
was
you.
sitting outside.
Yeah,
Damn it.
Well, we have children. We
Yeah.
can't really give a weed tour of the plant while we're handling
So
toddlers.
how long until those things grow large
I
enough?
don't fucking know. Again, I'm a weed doctor, not a botanist.
Shit.
God damn it.
We need some help, guys.
I'm a weed doctor, not a botanist.
Please start. Please start. So what do we need to do? We need to start posting some better pictures of it. So people can tell us
I
what
mean,
to
I'll
fucking
keep
do.
taking more pictures, and we'll again, I think we'll employ Chris, have him come in. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
talk
I
to us
know,
about-
like-
I'm sure his crop is around the same stage as this thing is. I mean, we all put our shit out when it started getting warm. So
yeah.
I mean, we'll have to talk to him, but I'm guessing he's either been at this stage before, or he's got a crop that's in similar stage, because he's a grower. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll have a chat
no
with
one,
him
but no
about
one's fucking doing this in a Home Depot bucket outside.
sure they
right?
are. Oh yeah,
they are.
yeah. 5-gallon bucket, great place to grow stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought everyone that's doing it for real, or at least,
Well, I
at
mean-
least doing it to the point where like it's smokable. I think people were just doing it with these special lamps and lights and humidifiers and
I mean, that's an indoor op. That means you're
Yeah.
growing year round. Sure. I'm
Right.
just growing one for the summer, and then we'll pull it in after it's done flowering for
Yeah.
the season. But I mean, again, there's a couple of different ways to approach this stuff. You can grow a bunch of weed in a raised garden bed, fucking for the summer and enjoy.
Yeah.
You can put a couple weed, a couple plants in a couple big pots like I did.
Yeah.
And just kind of, move them around and see how big they get in a 5-gallon bucket, which is pretty big. And that's the same as like growing a pepper plant or a tomato plant or whatever. And then, you get folks that do the indoor stuff, but that's just, they're not chancing anything to the elements. No bugs,
right?
No
And
cold nights.
These things don't reflower. So once their buds grow and you trim them off, if you kept that single plant alive, would they continue?
We'd need to mirror summer conditions. We'd need to mirror like the sunny summer.
But that's what I'm saying.
Solstice conditions, because it would reflower. Yes,
it would.
To answer your question.
So
but it have to mirror the right conditions. So if all of a sudden, so like it buds, right? And now by the time it starts budding in the Northeast, now we're looking at
September, October,
right?
Yeah.
So now we're done with that.
Right.
It ain't gonna bud again.
Right.
And also the sun's now changed. Daylight savings.
Right.
Now there's less sun in the day.
Right.
So that's what they do when they're indoor. They change the light schedule. They go from.
So whose house are we doing this in? Are we going to keep it alive in yours or mine?
That's a good question.
Well, we're going to try to clone it, right?
Well, yeah, I'll give you your own, and you can fucking keep your own alive. I'll pull mine into my little.
I'm doing this.
My little sunroom, and it'll.
It's a hybrid sativa.
It's a hybrid, just straight hybrid.
Hybrid. And this is something that you've enjoyed before in the past.
I loved it. I'm pretty sure it was one of the ones where I was like, I was fucking around with that AK-97, which was a hybrid sativa.
Yeah.
And it was like 29% or something like that. And I put it up on Twitter. I was like, don't be fooled by high percentages always. This was like 19% and it was a hybrid. And AK-97 was like this crazy high percentage.
AK-97.
AK-47. Sorry, AK-47.
I mean, there might be 97.
No. It's AK-47. Yeah, the AK-47 was like 29% or some nonsense, and then it sucked. I mean, it didn't suck, but it wasn't my thing. Like it didn't do the same. I was way more stoned off the Uptown Funk for like 19%.
Shit, let's fucking keep it going, man.
Yeah, I'll cut a piece off for you. We'll figure it out.
So you just got to cut a plant. I mean, cut a
after
branch?
She's done flowering.
Yeah.
She's gonna go back to like veg state or whatever, I guess, and then just grow from that point. So then we cut off a piece for you. You put it in some solution, some cloning solution, and then
cloning solution. What was this, fucking Star Wars?
Yeah, dude, you got to put it in the cloning solution.
What does that fucking mean? What's
the
cloning?
The growers are gonna fuck you up now. They're gonna come get you when you start.
Wait, there literally is a cloning.
No, you have to put it in
solution.
this like stuff. Yeah, you have to put it in fluid and dab the stem in this fluid and then put it in soil. I think like really nutrient rich soil. I'm serious.
Sounds fucking science fiction, man.
You Google it if you want to.
I'm not gonna Google it now. This is the funny thing.
It's called. I'm pretty sure it's called cloning. It's like a solution. It's like it's like water, but it's like a fluid. But yeah, you put the stem in the fluid, and that like I don't know makes it fucking root.
Right.
I'm not fucking with you. I promise.
I don't believe you are. I bought 2 books of marijuana. 2 books. And I bought them weeks ago. I haven't even turned the page though, because I guess I'm enjoying learning from the experience that I'm getting, and I don't want to read too much about it.
It's kind of reading books is a nerd approach.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm a nerd. That's my life, is just fucking reading protocols.
So what are these 2 books? You gonna give some shout outs?
I don't remember. I have to look at the titles.
Oh, okay. And what are they about? What are they covering? Like how to smoke weed?
It's almost
weed
like
in you, weed
for,
in me,
like weed for dummies,
weed in my feelings. Like what is it?
Like old yellow, old greener. Oh, I don't know. No, it's no, it's like a weed for dummies type book. It's like almost like
or just like a breakdown of all all the different things about the industry and weed. And
basically, it's somewhat political and somewhat educational.
Got it.
Some historical, So, but I haven't picked it up. I haven't even. Maybe I'll take it on vacation with me.
There you go. You might have some. You might find you have plenty of free time.
Yeah, and then I also bought the Dr. Greenspoon books.
The old Greenspoon,
the
OG
old,
Greenspoon,
yeah, the
or
one
the new
that
Greenspoon?
No, the one that just passed.
Okay.
Marijuana.
OG Greenspoon's got a whole bunch of shit.
Well, he's got 2 of the most popular. Marijuana Reconsidered is one of them. Fuck, I forget the name of the next title. Whatever. No idea. But supposedly this was based on the paper that revolutionized weed, the weed industry. or cannabis in general, the sort of feeling in the medical community. So I bought that book. So I think I might read that one first, just because we're sort of in a still sort of morning period.
And you're gonna be working out in the morning on this vacation we were talking about, too, right? Quick little variation on the.
I have to
routine.
switch it up.
You're just doing that so you can feel like you can just do whatever in the afternoons and hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to drink. I want to be able to eat. I don't
Happy
want
hour
to
starts at 4 on vacation, brother. Maybe even earlier.
Exactly. But I also want to enjoy the beach and not fucking cut things short. You know, I historically I have been crazy enough to just like ruin my fucking vacation. Yeah, swear to God, I would just disappear.
Beach,
And that's what I needed to do.
Yeah,
no, that's actually not true. That's what I thought I needed to do. Just fucking go to the gym for 2 hours, fucking burn it all off, and feel good about myself. So
you're gonna do it early, get it out of the way.
Yeah, get it early out of the way. I'm gonna bring some equipment. I got a jump rope, and maybe some bands, and I'll do my own thing. I can't help but go away and also look into other places. But I think right now with the whole COVID thing, like I'm not looking at
dropping in.
Yeah.
No.
But that's like, honestly, that's like my favorite pastime is fucking going on vacation and then just like
I think this
dropping
year,
in different gyms.
I think this year it's go for your jog and do your your impact body workouts.
Do a beach workout.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. We're looking forward to the vacation. It really does suck that fucking Kirk's gone right now, but we wish him well. So please take care of yourself, and we're looking forward to having you back.
Yeah, do the things that that cleanse the mind and the soul and the body, and keep yourself happy and routine oriented, and stay busy.
Yeah, I think the other thing also that a lot of people were talking about is how Kirk and his openness to wanting and needing to get help has changed a lot of people's perspective, and I think that's important.
Yeah, recognizing it, talking about it, all that stuff is the first big steps, and seem to always get overlooked. So important shout too. And
they say that I think for guys especially, it's much more difficult to ask for help when you're going through these things. It's easier to just fucking do dumb shit, get drunk, be the tough guy, not talk about it, hide your feelings, but being able to be open and upfront about it, and to know when shit's gotten so bad that you need fucking serious help. That's just important. So anyway,
vacation time.
Kind of a mixed episode. It was.
Oh, you know what? We can't sign off real quick. Yeah, we got to talk about just before, because we need to just fire up the engines real fast.
Okay,
got to ask about your boy. Real quick, what's going on with our friends over at the Old Jerks? What are the Old Jerks up to?
I don't know, man. I keep saying it, but it's so easy. I don't know why. I don't know why I have so much fun fucking busting in that guy's balls, but I keep doing it.
He gets fired up pretty easily now.
Oh God, it's a one. It's almost like he's like a one tweet whore. Like all I got to do is just unzip the dress. Just like brush the nipple, like on top of clothes, like there's just a little breath into the ear, just a little lick of the lobe. There's just it's just such a small amount of energy and time it takes now for him to go and to get off, and I fucking love it. I don't know how to stop. I'm addicted to bugging that guy.
I had to give him one retweet because he did send out one good weed. He had one. I can't remember what it was.
No, I saw you. I know you retweeted
a couple good weed tweets.
No, you retweeted the Rev Clinic story.
Yes, and he's got some tea. Yes, I can't wait to hear that. Yes.
I mean, he thinks we work for Rev Clinics, and to be honest, if there's a company right now that's fucking people over after they've been like sexually assaulted, which is pretty much what he's claiming. He's saying that people were sexually assaulted and then they just fucking silenced them. They just fired them. If that's going on, that's fucked up.
Sure.
That's of course fucked up.
As we've all, I think that's obvious, but
yeah. But again, I'm not going to defend anyone. You can never defend that behavior. So even though, we like those guys who've come on our show and spoken to us. I mean, it's like, if that's what's going on, fuck that.
Yeah, no, if we get anything even close to something that sounds sketchy, or, if it has any iota of truth to it, of course I'll be checked out on all of that.
Yeah.
From that crew. But
Yeah, so
we'll see.
that's what you retweeted.
I was always got some tea apparently.
Yes, so he's
By the way,
he's brewing something.
He's been listening to Barstool, if that's the case, because all Portnoy talked about in lockdown mode with Caller Daddy was I've got tea, the Caller Daddy thing. So
that's interesting.
Our boy Mike might be listening to some Barstool. Lately.
Mike's a closeted Barstool guy.
Could be. That's definitely been like a more popular like Barstool thing lately.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Spill the tea. I got the tea for you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
he's trying to be
so
cool. He's trying to get young, of course. Maybe he's worried about getting.
He also hates. He hates when I call him fucking old and the old jerks, and he hates it. He hates when I say it.
I love Mike. I appreciate everything he's done for the weed community.
Same. I fucking hate Grant though.
Grant's. I'd like to stuff Grant in the locker, but that's a different story.
I don't hate anybody.
but
there's no hate.
But no, we got no. I'm just fucking around. But Mike's. Again, as a self-proclaimed weed doctor, I have nothing but respect for Mike. But I do find all of this extremely interesting, and I had to ask. So thank you.
One day I will grow up and I'll stop, busting his balls, teasing him, but. I don't know why I have so much fun doing it.
Well, we'll see. We have some more updates. Things will happen. Things are going to happen through the summer. Everybody's chilling. Everybody's kind of taking it. I think everybody's going to take a little breather for August.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to August, to be honest, man. This fucking vacation is going to set me up. 10 days, nothing, no work, not logging on to my emails and shit. And I'm just going to I'm going to smoke. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to feel good. Probably going to fuck. That's just part of the deal.
That could get you in trouble. You better be careful. Talking about that on here.
Oh no!
That ended,
I'm just saying I'm not talking about. I'm not describing.
I'm pretty sure the reference to the bedroom that's a standing.
Shout out bedroom cannabis.
That's fair.
I'm taking that with us. So
you're gonna think of some show ideas. We get some new.
So it says
new collaboration and content.
So it says on the package to apply it 30 to 60 minutes prior to intercourse. So I'm trying to think. So she can insert it. It comes with these pipettes. It comes with the vial of the oil, the lubricant, and then it comes with these individual pipettes. So you fill up the bulb with the pipette, and you either insert it into.
How do you spell pipette?
I fucking don't know. pipette. Pipette. So you insert it, squeeze it, you let it all in. Foreplay. They call it it's like a foreplay thing. So because I'm like, fucking foreplays for 30 to 60 minutes. That's my problem. Like
you're gonna have to.
Like I'm fucking 42 now, so I'm not. There's no foreplay.
I think you're gonna get yourself into trouble with all of this.
No, I'm just describing.
I'd say good luck to anybody that's playing around with this stuff.
Well, but that's what I'm trying to say. So my honest feedback just from open, like I haven't tried it yet, so it could be the most magical fucking orgasm of my entire life. I hope that it is, and I trust that it will be. But just based on the package and the instructions, I'm a little confused.
Yeah, it's going to be complicated.
It sounds like it's complicated. Because what am I? The real question is, what are you doing 30, 60 minutes before you have sex?
Not having sex.
I'm not even in bed. I'm
looking at a spreadsheet.
Taking a dump. Like I'm doing whatever the opposite is of being intimate with your partner or wife.
Typing an email.
Turning on Sesame Street for the youngest. Like I'm not doing anything that's
making a bubba.
So so that's what I'm trying to say. Shaking a bottle. So
yeah,
that's what I'm like. When I opened it up, I'm like, I thought this was just like fucking load the chamber and go. Like that's what I thought. Because like when you're using if you're ever using any kind of lubricant or KY or whatever, you just fucking rub it
right there.
Right there, you do it and you just go. And
it's a good thing you're on vacation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what am I going to say for 30 minutes from because that also ruins the anticipation of the spontaneity of it. So what I have to take this pipette. It's almost like it's almost too fucking. It's too procedural. You know what I mean? It seems too.
Yeah, you, your partner, and the pipette have to have a mutual agreement together.
Honey, just leave it out on the counter. Be just give her the wink, wink. Tell her to inject the oil. I need to know other people that have used this to see how it works for them.
You know,
because I'm also curious to know what the fuck are you doing 30 minutes to an hour before this starts.
I'm blanking on her name, and excuse me, Chief, and I'm sorry, but Chief's wife.
Oh,
she
yeah.
would love to she'd come.
I
and
need her
tell you-
on.
she'd
Yeah,
tell
we
you
need-
what's up right away.
yeah,
She
Chief,
has
we need Lee
she has no
to give
qualms
us-
about explaining in detail.
No,
I guess,
we
as to
need-
how this would all work. For you.
Yeah, no, she dropped like the anal.
So
She
what we
dropped
need-
the everything.
Great. So what we
So-
need her to do is we need. Yeah, I remember that. I
Fuck.
listened to your episode about that. So
I'm
what
gonna-
we need her to do is basically what you need is you need just more of an
was
SOP.
about to
You
fucking
need a
text
standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
You don't need an endorsement or like these are the things you can do. You need
Yeah.
a little bit. You need like a 5-step procedure.
I actually
Good
just,
luck.
to be honest, like I think I need a little bit more. Maybe she has some ideas because I'm blanking. Like I don't know what to do 30 to 45 minutes before.
A 5-step procedure.
Yeah,
Just these are the 5 things you have
Right,
to do that
so-
will get you to where
yeah.
you want to be.
like how to make your partner, how to get your partner
How
to
to
use
even
it.
approach this whole thing.
Exactly. To approach it, because I showed her the package because we were both downstairs together, which is where I had it, and because we're back to back with our desks and our basement
Mhm.
offices.
I didn't know that was
and-
the latest work setup. That's great.
Oh yeah. So anyway, so I moved the products from my car that I just purchased from Sierra Natural. Shout out Sierra. Moved it from my car to my computer desk, which is then supposed to make it into my suitcase. So I've already made that transition, but as of this morning, I still had everything. I got the gummies, the pre-rolls, everything is in my desk, and I whip out the bag that has the Purine in it. I'm like, honey. She's like, what the fuck is that? And then I show her, and she knows about the show, so she knows that I promoted this and I spoke to Chief about it and what it is. But like when I showed her kind of what it was inside, she was a little bit turned off. There was a big moment where I was like, we're not using this, are we? But she agreed to try it. But I think it
Does
looks
she know the 30-minute rule?
well.
Yeah, that's going to be complicated.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I don't.
We'll have to.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Good luck.
All right, Leah. So we got to get you on to give us some advice.
I'm sure she'll walk you through in detail how to handle this whole thing.
Yeah, and I want to know how. Yeah, I want to know how to address it with your partner. I want to know how women are treating it, and also what the fuck are we going to do for those 30 to 45 minutes? You just wash the dishes and like get upstairs, or you're actually doing? Are you foreplay for that long, man?
We're gonna talk this out. I think this is good.
All right.
Part of another mental health segment as well.
Seriously, sex, man. If I'm telling you, if you're ever in a relationship that you go longer than like, what are you, 2 weeks? I think if you go longer than 2 weeks,
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
like get out, get the fuck out. If you're not having sex every week,
All right, enough of this sex podcast.
well, that's part of it.
I asked you about Mike, and
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
we wound
How did
up
we get
here.
to this?
Yeah, I don't know. That's you.
Shit.
That's how you do it.
Um, all right,
Super Lemon Haze.
Super Lemon Haze, motherfuckers. Peace.
What is this?
We're running out of time.
I don't want to hear your excuses.
No, it's not fair.
Where'd all the files go?